As requested, as you guys have been asking for me to do a tutorial on the bodyweight row, that's exactly what's coming up for you, my friends. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the gains. Crew members! Oh shit! I think I've broken my bed. Welcome back to the channel, my friends. How you doing today? I'm gonna need to fix my bed after this video. But if this is your first time here on this channel, you need to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications, because if you're new to bodyweight training calisthenics, this is your home of bodyweight strength training. So make sure to hit that button and turn on that bell. So first of all, it's important to note the common FAQ I get asked of, like, you know, Jake, why do I need to be doing bodyweight rows? Why are bodyweight rows so important, especially for the bodyweight athlete? Well, first of all, for beginners, of course, building horizontal pulling strength is imperative and is a very fast way to actually learn and gain vertical pulling strength, i.e. pull-ups, in a more efficient and effective manner. Number two, it's essential for structural balance, keeping the back strong and healthy and the shoulders bulletproof from injury. And number three, bodyweight rows typically are best performed on rings, and as rings are non-stable and are free moving, they allow your joints to move in a more free-flowing manner. So with that said, it's a lot easier on the joints, so it will make you less prone to injury. But again, you don't necessarily have to perform them on rings. I'm just performing them on rings on this video because that's what I prefer to do. But despite the benefits that bodyweight rows provide to the calisthenics athlete, it's also important to address the common errors people make when starting out with bodyweight rows, so that you can fix them yourself and make the fastest progress possible. So the first mistake that people will typically make is pulling with the arms, because as the bodyweight row is a back dominant exercise, pulling with the arms actually makes it an arm dominant exercise, and so will simply diminish your strength output and will actually inevitably lead on to mistake number two, which is shrugging in the shoulders and letting the scapula elevate. Because again, this is eliciting poor movement patterns and actually puts the shoulders at a much higher risk of injury, because the scapula is not set in the correct position. And then number three, this will typically come if mistakes number one and two are already being made, and that is simply improper body alignment and using excessive momentum, especially from the hips. This is simply used because the individual is using the exercise progression that's too hard for them, and so they will compensate by using force from the hips to take away the load from the back, which completely defeats the point of the exercise. So to fix this, we are simply going to learn the proper body alignment first of all. So when we get in the starting position, it's important that, especially if we're doing this with straight legs, we're going to squeeze our glutes, embrace our core, maintain that posterior pelvic tilt. In addition, you also want to keep the quads engaged as well to maintain that full body tension, so that you don't drop the form standards and elicit poor movement patterns. And to optimize our strength in this exercise, we're going to retract and depress the scapula, thinking about pinching a pound coin in between our shoulder blades. And from here, we're going to pull the elbows, driving the elbows back towards our waist, up to the bar, full range of motion, coming back down with control, and then repeating for repetitions. The more you can optimize your back engagement with the bodyweight row, the more results you're going to gain in return. So now let's cover the progressions of the basic bodyweight row. So starting out, we're going to talk about the incline. So simply, the more inclined your body is, the easier the exercise is going to be, as you're going to have to pull less of your body weight. But then when you drop more horizontally to doing Australian rows down under, hence the name of Australian rows, you're going to place more load on the back and make the exercise more challenging. And then once you kind of get the groove of that, you can actually throw your feet up on an elevated surface by performing decline rows, as this will put more stress and require more strength in the upper back and rear delts. A second progression you can use is the leg positioning. So if your legs are bent, that will make the exercise easier. But if your legs are straight, you're going to lengthen the lever, therefore increase the intensity of the exercise. If your legs are out wide in a straddle position, that's going to give you more support, a greater amount of stability to make the exercise easier, which can actually be a good progression to then build more strength in the rowing pattern, bring your legs in together to then make the exercise again more challenging. Another way is rep tempo, and one example of this would be a slower eccentric. So if you're used to, you know, thinking, oh, I can bang out bodyweight rows, but you're not really doing them with much control, I challenge you to then perform the bodyweight row with a 3 to 4 second eccentric of every repetition, because this is going to create greater muscle damage, which as a component of muscle hypertrophy will then force your upper body to regrow bigger and stronger. In addition, as our scapula tends to be a weak link, you can actually implement paused reps into your training. So instead of just, coming up to the bar and then straight back down, you can actually pause for a second or two, maybe even 3 seconds or longer, to really focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together and strengthening those upper back muscles to a larger extent. Another thing to point out is the grip. So of course with bodyweight row, you can do this with a pronated grip, a neutral grip, or a supinated grip. Of course, it's important to do which one is best for you and your strength level. Now let's talk about further progressions with the bodyweight rows. So once you're doing Australian rows, decline rows, you're following all these rep tempos, now it's time to complement this with some progressed exercises to ensure that we are continuously forcing our body to adapt by regrowing bigger and stronger. So of course, one example of this would be unilateral work. So instead of pulling evenly from both sides, you can actually start working again with unilateral exercise. So that could be archer ring rows, or even simply doing rows with one arm, because not only is this a great way to further build strength, but it's also a great way to iron out any muscular imbalances you may have from your stronger and your weaker side. Another thing you can do is progress towards front lever rows. So instead of having both feet on the floor, neither of your feet are on the floor. But again, this will be more suitable for another video, as this video is more based on the basic horizontal row itself. And lastly, of course, one of the easiest ways to simply apply progressive overload in a very efficient yet effective way is to add weight to the exercise. So the take-home message of this video is to simply ensure you're doing your bodyweight rows, my friend. I mean, if you don't have a set of gymnastic rings, or you don't have a set of parallel bars to pull from horizontally, make sure you buy at least one of the two, my friend, because you'll certainly get a much higher return on your investment. And so, with that said, if you enjoyed this video, you like my content, you enjoyed watching every single minute and every single second of this video, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below that this video came good hands. So you may be watching this video and be like, Jake, I'm doing all these bodyweight rows, but I still suck at pull-ups. How do I increase my pull-ups? How do I get stronger in pull-ups, Jake? Well, luckily for you, my friend, I actually have a full playlist on this YouTube channel called How to Become a Pull-Up King, which gives you the best tips, tricks, strategies, all that good stuff to ensure that you can go from 0 to 5 to 10 and beyond pull-ups to further develop those wings. So if that tickles your fancy, then by all means you can check out that playlist, which will play in the end screen in the coming seconds. But as that was enough for me today, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, my friend, and as a crew member of the Gainshare Express, keep moving forward, my friend.